Scorpio. So this says, for Scorpio energy, some keywords she's given. Empowerment. The word power is in there, right? Change. Change is in here. The word change. Crisis skills. Self-mastery. Sex and soulmates. Financial partnerships. And avoiding power struggles. Ooh, Pluto power struggles, right? Remember, Pluto and Mars rule Scorpio energy, okay? So, Scorpio, we know, is deep vulnerabilities, deep, intense emotions. It's usually tragic energy. When I see Scorpio energy in folks' chart, man, there's usually something tragic attached to it, something through their family, some sort of tragedies down the line. These people could have been soldiers. These are people who can. I have one person where they were talking about their family history in Scotland, and talking about the Jacobites and someone who died and who pledged their life to fight and for the freedom and ended up winning, but then ended up dying. So in other words, we won, but yet now I'm dead. And so I fought for nothing because now I don't get to enjoy the freedom that I fought for, you see? So in a way, for that family, there's like that tragic sense of, I guess, loss because there was a power struggle. But it can look a whole lot of different ways when we talk of Scorpio energy and Mars and Pluto. A lot of times these are sex crimes. These are people who've been abused, who have been, someone had power over them. And so we think incest and rape and like the things that people don't usually want to talk about. It's the, oh no, don't talk about that. We can't talk about that type of shit. And so Scorpio energy is violent energy typically. It can be very violent. We think of the Crusades. We think of killing in the name of God. We think of, oh, because I think that this is what God wants, it somehow makes murder of whoever for whatever reason okay. And it's like, so it's fanaticism. I'll just say that here. Again, Scorpio energy can be wonderful. I have a lot of it. I express a lot of it. And so I see how it can go really extreme. And then there's lots of evidence of how it goes really extreme in our world. I live in the States and weapons is a thing. And so we see the extreme and the fanaticism and how it can go ugly really fast. But on the upside of it, it's Pluto. And so there's this strong power behind it, strong power. So it feels sometimes like, I brought you into this world, I can take you out. That kind of mentality. You ever hear your mom and dad say that? Anyway, so Scorpio, some words they're giving here is secrets. We don't talk about that. Secrets. Awareness of others' needs and motives. Scorpio is energetically empathic. Energetically empathic. It's the psychic. It's, yeah, totally, totally strong psychic abilities. That's why people are always like, you never make a Scorpio your enemy, going to be a problem, right? It also here says the word politics. Interesting. Politics and psychology and charisma. Interesting. Transformation, deep transformations and changes. It also says eliminating old baggage. Eliminating old baggage. The word change, the word restoration. So in other words, I've got something, it's old, I'm going to restore it. And I'm changing and transforming the way it looks. I didn't necessarily throw it out. I'm changing and transforming it. It also uses the word forgiveness, and that is really fascinating. I've never associated Scorpio with the word forgiveness. I've always associated it to Pisces. So please put something in the comments and let me know what you think about that. Oh, that means I got to get on the phone with my mom. We're almost done. Oh, my phone won't stop ringing. There you go. Okay. Sorry about that. Let me see what else. The risk to gain power, taking a risk to gain power, it says. So Scorpio's risky energy, it says, takes risks to gain power. Interesting. Compulsions, obsessions, intense interactions, living on the edge. There's something that's exciting about that with Scorpio energy. There's something about an indestructible feeling. Like Scorpio energy whether they're consciously aware of this, it's the idea of you can kill me, but you're never going to kill me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I dare you. Because even if you kill me, I'm still alive. Like, Scorpio's aware of that. It understands that this is just a body and I'm still going to exist. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. So in other words, it's kind of fearless is what that means. We got to be careful with Scorpio, right? Rules for self-mastery. Scorpio rules self-mastery, including good versus evil, so power struggles. Strength, self-discipline, commitment, and depth of character. Absolutely. Scorpio is the deep. That's a key word, the deep. It does not want to deal with phoniness. It has no patience for phoniness. It really doesn't. It says if we're going to have a conversation or if we're going to do something, it should be deeply meaningful. That's Scorpio energy. And don't waste my damn time. Otherwise, remember, Mars is a co-ruler. Don't waste my damn time, right? Commitment, remember, be very committed, can be overcommitted, can be, like attachment type of thing. Yeah, attachment issues because Scorpio is the opposite of Taurus, right? And that's got that magnetic energy to it. Self-discipline, it can be very self-discipline, self-mastery. When Scorpio takes itself by the hand, right, it has the ability to change and transform and to do unbelievable work during its lifetime. And by that, I mean it can elevate. It has the ability to elevate and get a lot done. So if somebody believes in multiple lifetimes, when you're utilizing your Scorpio energy, you have the ability to transform and change not just your body, right? Not just your personality, but there's like an evolution of the soul when we're talking about Scorpio energy. Okay. Depth of character. So, rules about bonding. Yes, that's a good keyword for Scorpio, bonding. Bonded energy, energetically bonds. How do you energetically bond? Well, some say it's just all about sex. And of course, that's the first word listed here, sex. But it's more than that. It's about, think of a band of brothers. We fought in battle together. They fought. They fought and they went through some hellish shit. So, there's a lot of survivor stuff. People bond because they survived something. You can survive and bond with people. Like if you were to go to meetings for people who've gone through some horrific experiences, you bond with them there. You may meet people that you talk to that you might be considering as someone you want to date. And you realize, oh my God, we have a lot of similarities in our past. And you bond that way, right? You bond over your hurts, bond over your vulnerabilities. That's the thing. Absorption. Scorpio absorbs. Absorption. It's an energetic absorption. So sometimes folks might say that Scorpio energy, because they pinpoint the word absorption. So many times you may feel drained when you're around Scorpio energy. These are the folks, I hate to say it, Scorpio, so please forgive me. And trust me, I'm a Scorpio. I got a lot of Scorpio energy. I express a lot of it. They can be energy vampires. We often hear the word energy, that phrase energy vampires. Scorpio energy, because it can be the absorption. And when it has that strong bonding thing that goes on, it can take more than it realizes from somebody. You see? Because it's deeply intense. And without being aware of who we are trying to, first of all, we can penetrate other people's energy, and which means we're invasive. And I started talking about this a long time ago with Scorpio. The greatest lesson Scorpio needs to understand right off top is to mind your own business. And I say that about myself as well. And I had to learn that as a young child. Many times we know things we have no business knowing because it's extremely psychic energy. So if you've got a Scorpio moon, you're a Scorpio ascendant, a Scorpio sun sign. If you've got planets, you've got Mercury in Scorpio, you've got Pluto in Scorpio. Like there are things you're just going to freaking know. Things about other people, the way they're feeling, what they're going through. But that doesn't mean that you need to call them about it. It doesn't mean you need to be reaching out and talking to them about it. It's what they're going through. If they want to share it with you, they're going to share it with you. So we can be energy vampires in that way because when we demand to know what someone's going through, or when we demand their, I don't want to use the word attention, but it kind of is, because let's put it like this. Our Scorpio energy knows something's going on. Therefore, I know something's going on, but you're not telling me about it. So I almost feel like you're betraying me. You understand the psychology of the Scorpio energy? I almost feel like you're betraying me. And so I have to go to this person and I'll just ask them, hey, what's going on? And then if they don't share with me, well, then we're not friends anymore. I feel like I'm being betrayed and they've closed me off. And it's like, hey, wait a minute. And see, this is the complication of Scorpio energy. It gets really deep, really fast, too damn fast. It's like, hey, but we bonded, we shared. And it's like, but wait a minute, I'm an independent being. And so many times, if we don't have healthy boundaries, we end up, because it's bonding energy. Think about it. And so when we bond with someone, it's like, but wait a minute, we don't have boundaries because we bond, right? We vibe strongly. And it's like, but don't do that. You're setting yourself up. We set ourselves up. It's a trick bag, as my mom would say. It's a damn trick bag. And it is. You can still bond and still be independent. And so, and the best thing sometimes, I don't know why I'm becoming extremely intense over this. I apologize, but I am. It's like, sometimes the shit comes in really intense. And this, again, example of my Pluto, Scorpio, Mars energy. I've been through this. I understand it. And so many times we have to stay quiet because it's the silence of how we're establishing a healthy boundary. And sometimes we have to establish a physical boundary. I've been through all of this. I understand it. And lots of different ways. So I get it. And we should never, ever feel guilty that we had to establish a healthy boundary. It's difficult. When you're dealing with Scorpio energy, the best thing, like I remember I had a client, her and her sibling and her mom, they both had a crap load of Scorpio energy. And oh my God, it caused so many problems in their relationships. They all knew shit about each other all the time. They didn't have to say anything. The other one could be in the other room. They knew shit. And it was like when Scorpio energy, somebody could be thinking something and the other person knows it. Well, I didn't say it out loud. Right. And it's like, wait a minute. So you're telling me I have to be responsible for the thoughts that are coming into my head? Sometimes things just come into the mind. We don't necessarily voice them, right? We can push them away and we could say, oh, wait, I can't believe I just thought that, or whatever. Or we could actively try to have discipline, right? But if we haven't mastered that yet, then all of a sudden it's caused a problem because someone's angry about some shit I didn't say. So it becomes really complicated, which is why with Scorpio, discernment, learning to mind your own business, learning that even if you know something, it doesn't mean that that other person wants to talk about it. And this goes for everybody and anybody. Like that's just the way it works. It's we have to be we have to we have to follow the wise words of somebody very small saying I just heard the other day. Silence is the big sister of wisdom. Silence is the big sister of wisdom. The big sister, which means wisdom is the little sister to silence. Think about that. Let that marinate. Well, hi, Taff. I know the alarm clock went off. Do you see this, cat? Yep. Alarm clock went off. Sex, absorption, soulmates. Oh my God, soulmates, Scorpio energy. Oh God, this was such. Anyway, I have to do more videos on. I can't talk anymore about Scorpio. I could spend all damn day talking about this shit. Anyway, deep emotional connections, mutual validation. Let me get to the last page, Taff. Oh, it's not. Okay, financial partnerships, loans, taxes, debts, grants, wills and inheritances, contracts and business. It's also insurances, insurance monies. You guys know that, right? Insurances. Yeah. Scorpio is also about misusing power. This could happen, a misuse of power. Revenge is a misuse of power. Jealousy, a misuse of power. Harsh judgments, destructive urges, power struggles, abandonment, suspicion, and guilt. This is all this in this book. It's all right here. I'm not making this shit up because it's all deep, intense emotions. And when a Scorpio gets pissed off, they want revenge, right? And that's why people say never make a Scorpio your enemy. But just remember, all that list right there that she just gave, that's a Scorpio functioning on a very low level. That's a vice. So if you're feeling abandoned, then you better start taking care of yourself. You're responsible if you feel abandoned. If you're feeling suspicious and guilty, power struggle, harsh judgments, jealousy, revenge, if you're feeling those things, right? Look in the mirror. Like, that's Scorpio energy. That's the best advice I can give. Restoring health. What does Scorpio rule? The rectum, the colon, the bladder, organs of elimination, menstruation, PMS, sexual diseases, sexual organs for the body, male and female, she has written here. Okay. So those are some of the Scorpio keywords. It's really interesting. I want a total healing to occur in the area of my blank. I want to easily attract and recognize and begin working with the right healer for me that restores my blank, fill in the blank. I want all tendencies to get involved in power struggles easily lifted from me. Another one, I want the fear of abandonment totally lifted from me. Another one, I want all desires for revenge against, fill in the blank, totally lifted from me. Another one, I want all jealousy totally lifted from me. Here's one, I want to easily find myself consciously suspending judgment of self and others. And another one, I want to easily find myself using my power constructively in all situations. Wow. I feel like in our world right now, we all need this. I want all destructive urges totally lifted from me. Wow. I think here's one. I want to easily find myself using my full power and strength to get rid of my credit card debt in a happy way. That's a good one. I want to easily find myself completing my personal will. In the inheritance from, fill in the blank, I want to easily find myself saying the right words to those involved that allow the situation to be resolved with fairness and goodwill for all concerned. All right. Kathy said her stomach alarm's going off. It's dinner time, and it is. So we're going to end it there. If you're still with me, thank you for hanging in all the way to the Scorpio keywords for new moon intentions when it is that time, right? But in general, these videos, I think, are good anytime, honestly, because it's just kind of a way to think about these areas of our chart. And do I express my energy that way? Right? So until next time, take care, and know I always appreciate your time.